Something's brewing behind the gates of Montecito. And it's not the usual press drama. Meghan Markle has just been dealt another quiet but ruthless blow by the royal family. This time, the signal wasn't loud, but it was sharp. Princess Lilibet's individual profile has been quietly removed from the official royal website, and the silence that followed is deafening. No statement, no explanation, just gone. Now, this isn't the first time the royal site has mysteriously reshuffled its content, but this feels deliberate. And Meghan, she's reportedly livid. She sees it as an insult, a public rejection, and maybe even a legal opening. Because when it comes to the royal family, erasure is rarely accidental. Before we go any deeper, make sure you subscribe, because what's happening now may be the biggest royal scandal since Megxit. And this time, there's no glossy PR campaign. That can cover up what's really missing. Let's talk about what's not being said. Royal insiders have long whispered about inconsistencies in Meghan and Harry's narrative, particularly around the birth of their children. Unlike previous royal births, there were no doctor's statements, no formal easel, no traditional photo ops. Archie's arrival was murky. Lilibet's practically invisible. And now, with her digital removal, the internet has reignited its favorite theory that Meghan may not have carried her children at all. It started as tabloid gossip. Then it snowballed. People noticed how strange Meghan's pregnancy looked in certain videos, including a now infamous clip where her baby bump seemed to shift unnaturally. At the time, critics were dismissed as cruel. But now, with Lilibet's name gone from the royal site, those same critics are being taken a little more seriously, especially after leaks revealed that Lilibet's birth certificate listed details that don't match public claims, including a location code tied to Colorado, not California, and gaps in the documentation only made it worse. For example, Meghan's grandmother is mysteriously marked as unknown on official records. Mistake or cover-up? Inside palace walls, this isn't just another PR issue. It's a growing crisis about legacy, lineage, and legitimacy. And according to sources close to the firm, the push for answers is no longer coming from passive corners. It's being led by Prince William himself. He's said to be demanding accountability, not out of spite, but out of necessity. The monarchy has endured scandal before, but a potential breach in the line of succession, that's a red line. It's not just a family matter, it's constitutional. William, the heir to the throne, reportedly wants medical proof. The names of the doctors, the delivery records, not for gossip, but for governance. Because if Meghan's children were born via surrogate and it was hidden, it undermines everything. So far, Meghan and Harry have provided none of it. And Meghan? She sees this as a vendetta, a targeted attack meant to discredit her and strip her children of royal identity. She's allegedly consulting lawyers, claiming the palace has overstepped. But there's a key truth she seems to ignore. Royal. Titles aren't permanent. They're privileges, not rights. And King Charles? Though publicly silent, insiders say he's fully briefed. He's not intervening yet. But if the evidence doesn't arrive soon, his hand may be forced. The palace doesn't respond to pressure. It applies it. Meanwhile, Meghan continues. The charm offensive. Carefully choreographed outings, smiling for cameras, promoting her motherhood with curated interviews and filtered lifestyle photos. But the public is losing patience. Because no matter how beautiful the image, the facts remain absent. Where are the doctors? Where's the hospital confirmation? Why is the record so incomplete? The royal family, usually measured and slow, has now made its move. Removing Lilibet's profile is not a glitch. It's not a tech update. It's a message. And Meghan's response so far? Optics, not evidence. But the palace? It doesn't run on Instagram. It runs on protocol. What's making this even more intense is the one person who could clear everything up, but won't. Prince Harry. He hasn't defended Meghan publicly, hasn't provided any clarification. No interviews, no documents, not even a statement. His silence is growing louder by the day. And in royal circles, silence isn't neutrality. It's distance. Some insiders suggest he's exhausted. Others say he's beginning to pull back. Not just from the media, but from Meghan's version of events. Because if the controversy spirals further and facts don't support their claims, Harry becomes the one caught in the middle of a constitutional crisis and a family disaster. And if it turns out the births weren't fully disclosed or followed royal protocol, then it's not just a scandal, it's a breach of trust with the crown. Meanwhile, behind Meghan's polished image, more questions are starting to surface. Not just about the children, but about her family history. Genealogy records with strange omissions, distant relatives with redacted ties, legal inconsistencies around her background. These gaps, once overlooked, are now being scrutinized with a magnifying glass. The monarchy doesn't demand perfection, but it does demand clarity, especially when children are positioned in the line of succession. Every branch of that family tree must be confirmed, traceable, and verified. And Meghan's side of that tree? It's looking increasingly unstable, and the palace has no intention of letting that go. Because now, it's not just about Lilibet's profile, it's about the entire legacy. While the palace tightens its grip, Meghan leans deeper into familiar territory. Media strategy, public appearances with her children, interviews painted in soft tones, carefully staged moments of motherhood and elegance. But no matter how polished the image, the core problem hasn't changed. There's still no transparency, no documentation, no doctors, no confirmation. And the royal family isn't impressed by aesthetics, because unlike Hollywood, where image is everything, the monarchy runs on structure. It doesn't care about curated lighting or emotional storytelling. It cares about protocol, bloodlines, and documented facts. And Meghan's strategy? It's starting to backfire. The more she smiles for cameras while ignoring the key issue, the more public suspicion grows. Even her supporters are starting to ask, why not just show the records? Behind closed doors, pressure is escalating. King Charles is watching, William is said to be leading, and Meghan, still hoping public sympathy will insulate her, is finding herself boxed in. Because when the royal family moves, it doesn't shout. It doesn't accuse. It simply erases. Lilibet's profile didn't just vanish from the royal website, it was strategically removed, not because of technical updates, not by mistake, but as a statement. A quiet one, but unmistakable. The message? Prove legitimacy or don't expect recognition. And so far, no proof has come. Harry remains silent. Meghan clings to image. But the monarchy stands firm. Because in their world, you don't earn your place with press tours. You solidify it with documentation, with lineage, with honesty, and until Meghan and Harry can produce what the crown quietly demands, hospital. Records, physician names, transparent timelines, Lilibet's digital disappearance may just be the beginning. Because in the House of Windsor, you don't fight for relevance, you uphold it. And right now, Meghan, she's fighting shadows. If you want the truth the palace won't say out loud, and the stories Hollywood won't touch, hit that subscribe button now. Because what's coming next could change the royal family forever.